2v2 on Semoskiy Winter. This game's Tume and Bad versus Tavington and Will, members of the 91st clan, apparently. Going to have mixed allies on the left, double Overcommando West on the right, and this is a pretty rough map for Overcommando West in 2v2s. Doubling up on OKW. I mean, not necessarily, not all the time, but it can be if they decide to make a battle group headquarters in too aggressive a location, because as the game goes on, they may find that they get bombarded hard by Allied indirect fire. And as far as those options are concerned, we have an ML-20 in terror tactics, shock rifle, the ISU-152 for mechanized support. So no B4. There is an ML-20 over here in terror tactics if he chooses that, which would be interesting, by the way. We don't see that one very frequently, but it doesn't look terrible. I think one of my casts recently has had terror tactics. It's got shock troops, the ML-20. It's actually very similar to counterattack, in fact. Shock troops, ML-20, and KV-8 rather than KV-1. This one has the added advantage of a bomb strike, though, which is an interesting trade-off. I definitely think this one could be made to work quite well. Bad going with airborne, especially on this map. Bad going with airborne, recon support, and armor company has some artillery options available to him as well. So I think that throwing at the battle group headquarters in a particularly aggressive location against this loadout may be a mistake. We're not going to see that yet, though. Mechanized Regiment headquarters going up simply in the Overcommando West base. And the other SWS half-track looks like it's going to set something up over here. Interesting placement. So I think both of these Overcommando West players are well aware of the dangers of Allied artillery, and they're going to manage them in their own way. Allied attempts to take control of this fuel are succeeding thus far, although Tavington does have building control here in the south. Tier 2 has been constructed by Tume. He's going with the Maxim after his second squad of conscripts. Conscripts in green cover are going to simply defend this fuel point for now, which is cut off from the Allies, I think, right? Yes, it is, until they take control of this cutoff here in the south. And a Kuba wagon, early Kuba wagon from will secure control of the fuel in the north. Bad. Having a little bit of trouble dealing with that right now. Now just continuing to engage on the fuel up here in the north. Riflemen trying to flank around, get into a green cover position on that Kuba wagon. Maxim in the church laying fire on those Volksgrenadiers. Riflemen are not suppressed yet, but they are taking heavy damage. Even in green cover, getting taken out pretty quick. They're going to be forced to retreat. Another squad of riflemen also retreating from the engagement in the north against Sturm Pioneers, which did not go well. And this squad of riflemen is making a pretty aggressive cutoff maneuver here by the Axis base. But that actually isn't really going to cut anything off. The strategic point here has also already been taken. So the munitions are not coming into the OKW yet, but Volksgrenadier is working hard on that north munitions point. They're doing alright, and we will indeed see the battle group headquarters constructed right here. So the danger doing this is, of course, that his opponent, or his teammate, risks getting overwhelmed in the center and south. Because if a forward retreat point is established right here, he's probably going to see his teammate get double teamed, which looks like it's already kind of happening. So of course, it will be up to him to apply as much pressure to the Allied cutoff right here as possible, draw as much of the Allies' attention back towards the north as he can so that his teammate doesn't get pushed completely off the map. At this point, it looks like that's kind of happening. Soviet forces moving up, pushing infantry away. Probably going to be able to get the south under control unless a flak half-track, which is being fielded now, can turn things back in the Overcommando West's favor.
infantry!
These infantry squads making their way towards this Kuba wagon to do a little bit of damage to it. The south munitions will get cut off by this rifle squad, but flak half-tracks making its way to the front line.
Contact! Enemy fire!
Chases them away easily enough. The engagement up here, we'll see a lieutenant fielded and an M20. M20 making its way to the front lines. No armor skirts on it though. And she could definitely use to take out that Kuba wagon. And looks like he's going to. Maybe, I don't know. He seems a little ambivalent, and I'm not sure what that M20 is doing. Squad of riflemen going for the victory point. Rear echelon troops taking control of the cutoff. Jaeger lights have been deployed, so that is scavenge doctrine from Will, and Tavington has gone with fortifications.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Rear echelon troops got sniped by the Jaegers. M20 will not hunt and kill the Kuba.
Keep your heads down.
Apparently he thinks that he can get that Sturm Pioneer squad. I don't know. It's still at about half health. That's going to be tough to burst down, that M20. Unless it retreats to right here. Might be able to get it. May need to utilize smoke. There it goes. Prevent that Panzerschreck from firing. Continues to try for the wipe on those Sturm Pios. Switches targets to the Kuba wagon here. He will have more smoke from the Kuba wagon's wreck to use here in this engagement. Gets a burst, half a burst off on something. On those Volksgrenadiers, not on the Sturms. Sturm Pios will be able to reinforce, and the M20 will disengage. Meanwhile, Lieutenant takes control of the fuel point up here. More riflemen taking control of that munitions, but the cutoff remains uncontested. And here's a battle group headquarters placement I don't think I agree with. Although he went tier 3 first and does have a flag half-track to defend it, later in the game, we may see it getting blasted by indirect fire. Soviet mortar over here. Already a little bit of indirect fire on the field. These conscripts will retreat, however, from that flag half-track. These move around behind this building. They have very low health, though, so their retreat path is compromised. So unless support arrives, they're kind of in a little bit of trouble. Mines going down here from the Soviet player. Trying to manage that flag half-track, although I don't know why it would be driving all the way down there. Might nail some infantry with it. Apparently a Maxim got stolen over here. That's not good. He simply retreats that squad when he gets an opportunity. Flag half-track reposition towards the center. MG-34 has taken up a position inside of this building to help defend this area, and the retreat point has been unlocked on this battle group headquarters. Pathfinders have been fielded, so Bad has chosen Airborne. Jaeger's doing a little better than Pathfinders at range, though. Riflemen have taken up a position inside of this house. Harassment attempt in the north just got shut down hard. There goes the full rifle squad.
We just lost a unit. Enemy infantry, pour it on.
And most Allied harassment of the south is not going all that well. Harassment attempt there in the south will get pushed away. Flak half-track in the retreat path.
Supply hub cutter is ready for orders.
Doesn't do all that much.
Flanking attack! Squad numbers back at full.
Will content to simply defend this fuel point, utilizing that stolen Maxim
Ready for deployment.
for now. The Allies will hold the central area, but not making any really aggressive maneuvers. Oh, that M20's going to go down here, and he does pop smoke, try and screen his own retreat, but I don't think that's happening. Couldn't pass to safety. AT grenade tossed. Ooh, nice AT grenade. Finishes the job, just barely.
Combat unit ready.
And I think if that M20 had simply continued to go forward in this direction rather than try and reverse, or had reversed through the smoke instead of reversing along this angle, might have gotten away. Ooh, that was a nice mortar. Could see a wipe. Oh, almost. That was a huge mortar. Field gun is protecting the center, but with the flak half-track destroyed, its next goal will probably be an Over Commando West truck, if it can be adequately defended. And American infantry are getting bled hard by those Jaegers. Don't seem to be doing all that well. American players are going to field themselves some paratroopers. Try to even the playing field a little bit. Fields in a kind of unfortunate location, though. Pathfinder's wiped. Another rifle squad looks like it's about to get wiped. Almost. Barely gets away. American players' manpower, I believe this game is just atrocious. Not very good map control either. He's really struggling.
Looks like we're going in.
Paratroopers take control of this cutoff for now, cutting off the north munitions. South munitions is still secured, though. And we're actually going to see 2 fuel caches here from Tume in the south, try and bolster Allied fuel income a little bit. Since they don't hold either fuel point, although this one is currently undefended, conscripts moving to take control of it back, and flamethrowers are making their way towards the south, try and get munitions. On the battle group headquarters, we're going to see some Volksgrenadiers reinforced, Stern Pioneers as well, and a Tier 4 structure going up from Tavington.
Command Half-Track has been permanently established as a static post. We've lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Are you serious? Now? Boy, we just got promoted!
50 cal fielded over here by the US player, doing what it can, firing at troops at max range and yellow cover, not having much of an impact. Probably should have fired it at that Volksgrenadier. Blob is around to the corner, but either way, I'm not sure he could have won this engagement. Repositions the machine gun to a slightly different location here, trying to suppress these Volksgrenadiers down, forcing a few retreats, but it looks like this fuel point's going to fall back into Over Commando West's hands. He has to retreat that thing to avoid infiltration grenades, and he certainly isn't in a position to be bleeding a whole lot more manpower. Losing any more full squads is already extraordinarily behind in that regard. In fact, his major is also dead. I don't even know what happened to his major, but alright, at least he was able to retake this position for however brief a time, and a Jagdpanzer is now on the field, making its way across this road.
Squad, support package received. Target captured. No enemy contact.
Orders!
Those LMG paratroopers are just asking to get wiped. Standing there with half health, unsupported.
Light gun carrier tank ready.
They are definitely not going to hold off this.
To the death factory, boys.
Conscripts move up for AT grenade, apparently. There is an M6 anti-tank mine here in the road. If that Jagdpanzer gets too aggressive and dies, that could be a big victory for the US forces here. LMGs will be prompted to retreat almost immediately. 50 cal setting up there. And Scott will start bombarding these infantry. If that is sufficient to bait the Jagdpanzer over this mine, it could be huge.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a
Its
push.
positioning's a little off, though. It's going north instead of in this direction. Oh, and that field gun's going to scare it away. Field gun scares off the Jagdpanzer, and the Scott baits it slightly the wrong direction, so it's going to get away clean. There's a minesweeper on the field, but I don't think he's spotted that yet. Jagdpanzer pulls back for some minor repairs, and meanwhile here in the south, Obersoldaten are scaring away a Maxim. Probably going to win an engagement against these conscripts easily enough, and all of this territory is falling back into Axis hands. Flamethrowers move up to try and counter here. There is an MG34, but it's not set up. Molotov, wow, huge Molotov toss. I just wrecked those Volksgrenadiers. Thought that squad might get wiped, but it makes away barely. This machine gun sets up. Too late, I think, to prevent this Molotov from getting tossed. There it goes. Maybe. Or I'm wrong. Does not get tossed. Looks like the Soviet player will lose this engagement. Taking fire from Obersoldaten there, makes a full retreat. There's a Scott on the field still, and it's bombarding this position. Dealing minor damage to that structure for now. Field gun moved up to support, they might be able to burst it down a little quicker. Apparently the Scott's going to simply disengage though, for now. Ooh, explosive barrage gets a pretty good hit off on that Volksgrenadier squad. Ever so slightly off target for this jump, unfortunately, but the Scott's moving up a little aggressively. A little too aggressively. Jagdpanzer lands a shot on it. He really needs to nuance his baiting of that Jagdpanzer a little differently. He needs to try and engage from around somewhere around this area. Try and convince that Jagdpanzer to cross this intersection. Riflemen positioned in cover, doing what they can against this machine gun here. These squads of infantry gonna get some reinforcement done. I think I just heard a Katyusha. Katyusha on the field. Looks like this Maxim got decrewed by Stern Pioneers here in the south. That Katyusha might start getting some squad wipes of its own. Moves up into close range to try and get a good shot off on that MG34, but unfortunately is only brought down to 2 men. Scott and a T-gun bombarding this position, and it's woefully undefended. I think it's going to get taken down. I don't see anything available to defend as long as he can continue to provide vision, which he has to do by suiciding paratroopers into it, sadly, but he should be able to get it. There it goes. Nice play by the US player. Take out that tier 4 structure. KV-8 goes in hard with the assistance of propaganda artillery, forcing a huge retreat. If only there were some form of off-map artillery to drop on this blob. The Allies don't have incendiary artillery strike. They don't have some form of, I don't know, time on target or something, no mechanized artillery. Man, if only the Allies could punish that. Look at that. Look how juicy that would be. Drop some time on target artillery right there, and that's GG. Regardless, forcing that mass retreat definitely opens up the map a little bit for the Allies. Apparently they also managed to force some munitions expenditure, scavenger artillery here in the center, to try and alleviate the pressure. Plus they will get the south fuel back. So, nice play by that KV-8. Ooh, you know what he should have done? He should have moved that Katyusha up and blasted that. He probably could have got some huge kills. Shame he didn't coordinate his Katyusha barrage with that mass retreat. Looks like the thought occurred to him a little bit too late. Conscripts making their way towards the strategic point. Try and get that under control. And this blob is making its way towards the battle group headquarters. With that Katyusha on the field, he really, really needs to spread this out. He's asking for it. He is so asking for it. Jagdpanzer are still available over here on the left side to engage any allied armor that it has to. Jackson, similarly. Ready to engage. Scott is going to start bombarding these infantry formations. Pop smoke to avoid being destroyed by that Jagdpanzer. Pops stealth and tries to move in closer, try and make something happen. Katyusha is going to bombard this position. Terrible spread on the first salvo. Prompts an immediate retreat. That wasn't a very good barrage at all. Pretty bad luck. It was perfectly aimed. The rockets just didn't hit anything. Although he does clear out that stolen Maxim, so that's something. Jackson moves up to fire on the Jagdpanzer, and Jagdpanzer destroys the Scott, or causes it to be abandoned. Jackson has to pull away from that Jagdpanzer for now. Being screened by Volksgrenadiers, and this should be fine. Stern Pioneers moving up to repair, but the US players should be able to secure this Maxim and take control of this fuel point. Obersoldaten making their way towards the south, getting that strategic point under control. There's a demo charge on the point, but without vision.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Won't know
points.
for sure if he's going to secure a return on that investment.
Contact! Get down!
Paratroopers ready for action, boys. Stick with me, you might just make it.
That demo charge just exploded. Did a propaganda shell just blow up that demo charge or something? It didn't kill anything. I'm not sure what that was about. Obersoldaten will retreat.
We lost a gun crew!
Maxim's been cleared by the blob. 50 cal trying to slow it down. It's glorious Katyusha bait, but hasn't fired yet. Panzerschreck will snipe the gunner, and both machine guns are simply overwhelmed by the horde of Axis infantry.
They've opened up on us! Enemy contact!
Maxim here in the south will be forced to retreat as well.
We're under attack!
And apparently the propaganda did blow up that demo. I didn't know that was possible. I guess I learned something in this replay. Don't drop propaganda artillery on your own demos.
All propaganda is available to be dropped on the fascisti.
These forces making their way across this area again. Nice grenade placement. We could see that squad die. Not quite. Was that artillery of some kind? What is that? Is that a ML-20? ML-20 on the field, so terror tactics. Terror tactics has been chosen, and that was interesting. Ooh! That was a scary Katyusha barrage. I saw one squad get wiped. I think it was already hurt, though. The rest is going to make it away clean. Wow, Katyusha, disappointingly enough, has only 6 kills, despite, I think, some well-placed barrages. He just hasn't quite gotten good rocket placement yet. Hasn't gotten lucky. But if their opponent keeps blobbing like this, like, just asking for it. Like, it's only a matter of time before Katyusha barrage just ends this.
Grenadier, ready for action.
It really is. Going with an Su-85 now for a little bit more protection against tanks. This 2 Jagdpanzer opening, in fact, from Will. Interesting decision. Su-85 probably not great against the Jagdpanzer unless you can get really good positioning on it. Tavington, of course, not built any vehicles since his flak half-track. Has gone straight to a Königstiger, and that's going to roll onto the field now. KV-8 moving up to try and push away those Obersoldaten. Trying to force a retreat with propaganda artillery. And there they go. Let's see, ML-20 is available to fire. And it's going to do so. There's also a Pak-43 being built right next to a battle group headquarters with an ML-20 on the field. That is suicide. That shot wasn't even close. That was terrible.
Engineer standing by.
It's not even moving, just standing in an ML20 barrage. Man, the scatter on that is huge at this range. Might be worthwhile to build that a little closer. Like put that right there on the edge of the river, try and reduce the scatter without making it too vulnerable. That range is it's obviously a lot safer, but it's not very accurate. You have to really pray for a lucky hit. Katyusha Barrage nailed some stuff, I think, just now. It's up to 11 kills. I heard it firing, wasn't paying attention to Barrage. Ooh, that shoe mine! I think he should be able to repair critical. Jagdpanzers do not move to follow up. I'll be able to repair that. Should be fine. KVA making its way back to the front lines. Su-85 is available here as well to counter the King Tiger. It takes an AT grenade, damaging its engine. Ooh, that P-47 rocket strafe just wiped an Obersoldaten squad. Jackson going in hard on that King Tiger. It's already heavily damaged. Most shots penetrating, not that one though. Oh, and the King Tiger puts an end to that. P-47 still coming in though. He's not even gonna make it out of that strike zone. I don't even know if it's possible for him to survive this. Plane gets shot down. If that second P-47 doesn't get shot down, I don't think that King Tiger is gonna survive. Oh, and it gets destroyed by an AT gun shot from the American player. Nice snipe. Takes out the King Tiger. Nails Vet 2. Lands Vet 2 on that AT gun. That'll be nice. That'll help him fight off the two Jagdpanzers here in the north. And the ML-20 pounding this area has also cleared out the Pak-43 and almost destroyed the battle group headquarters, in addition to massive casualties inflicted on Tavington's blob. Only one squad of Volksgrenadiers and one squad of Obersoldaten remaining. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Just a matter of time before you get artillery to death if you do go with that aggressive battle group headquarters placement. It's no wonder that this slightly more defensive placement is faring so much better. Ooh. Scots actually, let's see, 22 kills between them. I'm surprised he's managed to keep them alive against double Jagdpanzer. One volley from that will pop a Scot. I don't know why he hasn't just driven up and killed those things. Could definitely afford to be a little more aggressive, especially with one Jackson dead. There's one Jackson right there. In fact, you could just drive up and kill everything. You drive up and kill the Jacksons, kill the Jackson first, and then have total freedom to kill those Scots. I'm not sure why he's being so hesitant. Wow, Tavington just dropped. They're in a clan together. Why would one of them quit instead of surrendering? That's, what did he just rage his clanmate or something? Are they supposed to be friends? Just abandoned his teammates. That's a little weird. Alright, well. Apparently Will is going to fight on without the assistance of his teammate. He has two Jagdpanzers and an Ostwind with which to contend with Jackson, two Scots. What else do we have? Katyusha, Su-85, and KV-8. It's kind of a lot to take on. It's not going to be too hard for Tume to clean up here in the south against AI. Jackson's exposing itself to two Jagdpanzers. It's pretty dangerous. I have no idea why they're not firing. It would be so easy to take out that Jackson double Jagdpanzer. There's one shot. Two shots. Three shots, and Jackson's dead. I don't even think he should disengage. He just cleared the AT gun. I don't know why he's pulling back. He should just drive up and kill both Scots. None of this can even really damage him. He would definitely need support from his infantry to make sure that AT gun stays cleared, but I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading that engagement. I guess he's a little low. He wants to get some repairs done first. Ooh, look at that ML-20 shot. That was lucky. KV-8 just burning some AI squads to death down here. He's not gonna have any trouble with that. ML20 and Scott's bombarding this area. Probably just a matter of time before this game's in the bag for the Allies if he doesn't make a big play with those Jagdpanzers against like a lot of stuff. He has to kill a lot of stuff with 2 Jagdpanzers, which, while plausible if his opponents like misplay it, probably isn't going to happen, especially if he's getting blasted by a Katyusha and ML20 for the entire rest of the game, which he probably will be. Here comes the dreaded Katyusha barrage. That was a good one. Wipes one squad. These two should be able to get to safety relatively okay. Scavenger artillery is gonna force everything back just for a brief moment. Scots are doing great work against that tier 4 structure because the Jagdpanzers have been so lazy about driving up and killing them. It would only take one volley from the Jagdpanzers to destroy one Scot. He could clear that out so easily. He just has to drive up and do it. Lots of vet being earned on these Scots. Lots of vet. Not a whole lot of infantry left. He just wiped one Volksgrenadier squad. That one's going to retreat back to HQ. Which means the only thing left up here is Sturmpio's tier 4 structure and the Jagdpanzers. American players applying a lot of pressure, and the AI is not really providing any meaningful assistance anywhere. Fielded a Puma apparently. Did recruit the Pack 43. I have to disengage. Puma might actually destroy him here. I think that Puma's gonna kill him. Oh, or the Pack 43 will just finish the job, but whatever, it's the AI.
Propaganda against the enemy again.
Don't really think anything catastrophic is going to happen. Puma dies. Su-85 fire. Not a whole lot left down here. Pack 43, MG. And apparently the AI is now spamming Sturmpios for whatever reason. I don't pretend, I don't claim to understand the AI's decisions in this game. ML20 pounding the Pack 43. No lucky shots though. Yeah, that scatter is just too big at that range. Needs to build it a little closer, I think. It's got 18 kills. It's apparently been contributing, but not reliably. It does have precision strike though, so that's an option. It's obviously not as devastatingly powerful as the B4's precision strike, which is amazingly only 30 munitions more. That Scott gets popped like a balloon by a Jagdpanzer shot. Did one of the Jagdpanzers die? No. It's got 3. Oh, it's up here, invisible. P-47 magically detects the invisible Jagdpanzer. Nice there. P-47 vision. Jagdpanzer down here, no longer really able to do anything. Back when he was up against just 1 Jackson and 2 Scots, those Jagdpanzers had huge openings with massive casualties. That window of opportunity is clearly extremely closed with 2 Su-85s here and 2 Jacksons. P-47 rocket strafes coming in. I mean, honestly, I don't know what I think is a better decision by Tume, to fully commit to taking control of the south, which would be easy against AI, or just double teaming the one remaining human player and trying to crush his morale Clearly, he's opting to send most of his forces up here to the north and just try and convince the guy to surrender rather than winning by VPs. Katusha moving up for a close-range barrage. I honestly can't believe he's held the line this long, but I'm sure it's just a just a matter of time. Soviet mortar nails that squad. Wow, that's a Vet 3 mortar. It's been doing good work over here, apparently. Katusha bombarding this area. Brings the battle group headquarters down pretty low. ML-20 is firing down here, actually, at the Pac 43 again. There it goes, finally. And it's destroyed. American AT guns continue to try to destroy that structure. Should probably use take aim to provide vision. By utilizing attack ground, he's just shooting. Like, look how many shots have impacted just the dirt right here. And Jackson shots. If he used take aim to provide himself vision, I think he would probably hit a lot more frequently. Actually, oh, he's got Pathfinders here providing vision. Okay, he probably is attacking it. Let me check. Okay, yeah, they've got vision. Never mind, I'm wrong about them. It's just the elevation causing those shots to impact the ground, but boom, there it is. The structure is destroyed. Nice use of Pathfinders. Very nice. Provide vision and get that tier 4 structure cleared up. The Jagdpanzer moves up from up here. AT gun moves to screen though. It's gotta be careful. And with, honestly, with 2 Jacksons and 2 Su-85s right here, well, they could avoid that happening. I mean, this sheer amount of firepower should be able to take on 1 Jagdpanzer on this flank. There's only 1 Panzerschreck available to support there. This one would, of course, move to support the engagement, but this sheer quantity, plus the AT gun to support, plus infantry, should be able to overwhelm this position. They're just being a little bit timid about it. And probably for good reason. Trying to make a big decisive push with Su-85s doesn't always work out great because they don't have turrets. They're not really very good for assaulting. Jackson's a little better, but they kind of need something to lead the charge. So, both players playing very defensive right here, kind of waiting for the other to make a mistake. But, I mean, we're just going to lose on victory points. Taking control of this, the AI is like just derping around. I don't know, Tume. I mean, if you want the game to end, all you had to do was triple cap your opponent like 10 minutes ago when his teammate quit. Wow, what are these bad manners, Will? Come on now. Where's the sportsmanship? Jagdpanzer takes out a Jackson. Su-85s move up to try to do some damage, but all shots bounce or miss. P-47 rocket strafe gets called in on that Jagdpanzer though, can probably do some pretty significant damage. Su-85s are gonna try to make something happen here. Lieutenant will spot. Jacksons don't move up though. Wow, that P-47 just nailed that lieutenant. Jagdpanzer falls pretty low. Su-85s. Not chasing Jackson's going in though. Riflemen are going to continue to move up and provide vision. Jackson's circle around this direction. Jagdpanzer shot misses. Jackson targets that Ostwind. Doesn't really matter though, the game's over. Victory points have run out. And that plane is going to be frozen in glorious midair. Plane crash, look at that. Well, not sure what to say about this game. Pretty textbook indirect fire, Soviet indirect fire taking out the battle group. I mean, that's pretty much what happens. I don't think it's a good idea at all to put a battle group right there unless you can be super aggressive and punish something like this with, like, I don't know, a Sturm Tiger or something. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother. From that point, once you get blasted off the map, it can be pretty hard to recover unless you get out of KT or something, which did happen, but the King Tiger got destroyed. A pretty nice push by the Allies. Sniped by the AT gun, Jackson moving in on the flank, AT grenade from Conscripts, P-47 rocket strafe. Allies had a big combined push on that King Tiger, which Axis weren't ready for. Really well executed, in fact. There was a PaK-43 available to defend it, but KV-8 flanking around the south took that out. Really nice, well executed combined push by both players to annihilate that King Tiger, which is exactly why I said earlier, it's really dangerous to split yourself up so much in this 2v2. If you set up a battle group headquarters way here in the north, leave your teammate really vulnerable to getting double teamed elsewhere on the map. So good game. Allies win.